You should always be listening to the postgame show on The Score. Lively times, win or lose, with Hub Arkish, Big Cat Williams, and Olin Kreutz. And they're going to be at Shoeless Joe's out in the western suburbs, I believe, this week, not the one in Rosemont. So it's fun when they're around. You get to hang out, watch them, watch a game. You learn a lot. And I usually, the moment the game ends, I'm sifting through stuff and I try to write something. I just try to do a first blush thing and throw that information up there. So I don't often get to hear what happens. So I rely on people saying, hey, you might want to check this out. And by the way, yes, there's Shoeless Joe's Ale House in Addison, 1480 West Lake Street. That's the pre and the post this week. But this was a call that came in shortly after, I think, 5 o'clock yesterday.
All right, let's get to another caller here. We've got Patrick on the northwest side. Pat, thanks for dialing us up. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing? You know, I listened to the show real quick on what you guys were just talking about here. It's like Donald Rumsfeld said, we don't know what we don't know. And that's what I'm afraid of with the McCaskies. They don't even know what they don't know. And they should just hire a guy to run the football operations, period, make all the decisions. But here's what Mr. McCaskey needs to hear, at least in my opinion. It's been 7 years since the Bears made the playoffs. When me and my brother, season ticket holders, talked about that, you know what he said to me? That's $16,000. That's what I spent in tickets. $16,000. I can't give the tickets away. This is year 5 where I can't give them away. I give them to the USO. I gave tickets to a charity. There's a charity tonight for prostate cancer research. And I gave them the tickets, and I laughed, and I told the girl, you're going to have to give them to the person with the worst mustache because nobody wants them. They're becoming irrelevant. And I'm saying is, I'm done. I'm done. If they don't, if I have to go through another year where I can't give you my tickets, hey, man, you want four Bear tickets? No, thanks. I mean, I got to say, I'll give you 4 Bear tickets. I'll drive you. I'll pick you up, and I'll buy all your beer because nobody wants to go. And there's a ticket holder who sits in a section. It's not just the money. It's you're there from 9 o'clock till you get home at 5, and you come home miserable because you just watch them get their ass kicked again, and you're tired of it. And these tickets have been in my family since the 40s. And the only thing that keeps me holding on is I tell my brother, hey, Jimmy, you'll be able to bring your grandson soon. He says, yeah, after I turn him on the Bears, when I'm old enough, they'll push me out of the wheelchair because I'm turning him on this losing organization. $16,000. I could have went to Tuscany. I could have went to Hawaii on that money. And that's a lot of scoots. And go sit in the 400 section. You can't. It takes half a quarter to go to the washroom, another half a quarter to get a beer. The stadium empties out. You're standing there waiting to get out. You know, a few years ago when they had to evacuate the stadium because of a storm, they had to get on the PA and say, hey, section 400, we're serious. You have to leave. And we're all laughing like, leave? We can't get out. Hope to God the storm doesn't come because we're all doomed because we walked into a nightmare. That's the way they built that stadium. But as an organization, you just want to win. I just want to come home from the damn game and not feel miserable. And I keep looking at the money I'm spending. And I've been spending this money for a long time. And I don't want to do it anymore and be miserable. It's just, what's the point? And I'll tell this to George McCaskey. I know you want to win. I'm glad you want to win. But you know what? In my business, I'm a paramedic. You do your damn job. Do it. Get it done. My good intentions don't mean crap. Good intentions and $10 will get you an Uber ride. What you need to do is produce. And my feeling is, if they're not going to win soon, I'm done completely. I won't watch them. I'm done. They could win 16 games in a row for the next 10 years, and someone will have to tell me about it because I won't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Bears fan Patrick.
Wow.
That's real. That's real. And normally, that's
a guy who wants to love them.
Yes,
he wants to.
Yes, that's all he wants to have is the team meet him halfway. But it's like all of the ordeals of Job trying to just watch a game. He talks about he can't use a bathroom. He can't buy a beer. Now, Bernstein, you're the guy that says don't pay the money. No one forces you to pay the money. See, I understand that when you game to game, that when tickets have been in your family, and this is coming from it. I grew up with Bears season tickets. My family had seats. We went every week. That's just what we did. And they were old seats, and then when they changed over, they redid the north end zone, our seats moved to the north end zone. We went. I went to exhibition games. I went to games that didn't matter. We sat in sleeping bags. That's just what we did. And when my dad finally gave up the tickets when they did the PSLs in the new stadium, he asked me. He said, "Are you ever going to want these?" And I said, "Not for a second." But there was some legitimate fan sentiment in there. I mean, I'm not cold to the idea of this, saying, why do I do this? Why am I spending the thousands of dollars? Because we had the conversation. They said, look, we can still have these seats. Do I want to do? Do you want to do this? Is this something that you would hand down to your kids? And here I am. I haven't been to a game since I stopped covering the team because it was enough already, and it wasn't my idea of fun anymore to do that. And Mike's son has never been to a Bears game ever.
He hasn't missed anything.
You really want to go? You want to see that? He asked me, "Can we go to a Bears game?" I said, "I don't know if we want to."
You should actually take him to one, and then he'll be done with it and never want to go
Dad,
again.
Now I get it. Now I understand. But
you know what he was saying about the Washington tornado day?
Yes.
I took a picture of it, and I have it in my phone, of what it looked like staring across at that top level. And those people, when they said it's time to evacuate, it took them the better part of a half hour to get out because of the log jam up there. They're coming from below and above. He wasn't kidding. There's no way to get out.
But you're right. I think you hit at the essence of it. All he wants to do is have something he can kind of like enough. And it's really, I don't really think it's about the expense, because either he's got that discretionary income or he doesn't, and apparently he does. And if he wants to go to Tuscany or go to Hawaii, he can. But it's a tough decision when it is something that has been in your family. You start to feel that responsibility. You start to feel...
Plus, those 8 Sundays are sort of built into your fall, and it's a big part of your life. At least it used to be.
They were for us, and we would go and we would sit behind the same people, and that's... I sat behind a guy who literally chain smoked, lit one off the other the whole time, the entire time. And he wore a little tiny knit cap, almost like a yarmulke, but it was like a full, like a knit hat, but it wasn't keeping his head warm. It was just on the back of his head. And he sat with this large, loud, foul-mouthed woman. He never said a word. The guy never said a word. But this woman
he knew better.
The woman next to him in a Schurz high school snap-up windbreaker. Always, representing Schurz High School out there at Addison and Milwaukee. And she said it all. All he did was sit there and light one cigarette off of the other.
Never having it out completely, right?
Oh, never.
One to the other.
People use the term chain smoking, and members of the chain smokers, but if you've never actually seen it, that's when I learned what that was. Was that guy who would take the end of the one butt and start another, and it was just a constant supply.
We had last row north end zone in the old stadium, and probably my lasting memory from one of the last games that really mattered was the NFC Championship, when all we saw was Mike Richardson chasing Jerry Rice up and down the field.
I was in the north end zone.
And you remember how cold it was that
day? I do.
Bear
weather.
Bear weather, right? It was about 30 below wind chill. And we spent the second half.
I remember looking at my cousin. I said, I think we've reached the end of bear weather.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was it. But what I remember most about that day is we spent the second half seeing how hard we could hit each other.
What? What do you mean?
Well, we were drunk.
And it was cold.
It was cold. The game was over. It was misery. And we just spent the second half punching each other, seeing how hard we can hit each
other. He's Barry Rozner, dredging up wonderful childhood memories.